The opening round of the 2024 College Football Playoff (CFP) saw Ohio State and Texas shine, while teams like SMU and Indiana struggled, drawing attention to some early critiques of the new 12-team format. Winners: Ohio State. The Buckeyes bounced back impressively from their loss to Michigan, dominating Tennessee in a 41-17 victory. Quarterback Will Howard was exceptional, completing 24 of 29 passes for 311 yards and 2 touchdowns. OSU outgained Tennessee by over 200 yards. And despite a late surge by the Volunteers, Ohio State remained in control. This strong performance raised their stock as a national title contender. Texas. Despite a shaky fourth quarter where Clemson closed the gap, Texas controlled most of the game in a 38-24 win. The Longhorns' defense, which had been the top unit in the nation, allowed Clemson quarterback Cade Klubnik to throw for 336 yards. But their offense was efficient, particularly in the run game, with 292 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. Penn State. Penn State's 38-10 victory over SMU was one of the most dominant of the opening round. A pair of defensive touchdowns set the tone, and the defense stifled SMU's offense, forcing 3 interceptions. The Nittany Lions' next challenge will be more difficult, with Boise State's Heisman finalist Ashton Jeanty awaiting them. Notre Dame. Notre Dame delivered a strong performance in a 27-17 win over Indiana. The defense was dominant, limiting Indiana to just 278 yards and forcing the Hoosiers to average only 2.3 yards per carry. This sets them up as a serious contender in their upcoming Sugar Bowl matchup against Georgia. Losers. Playoff Selection Committee. The committee faced backlash following the lopsided losses from teams like SMU and Indiana, especially after they chose SMU over SEC teams like Alabama and Mississippi. The double-digit defeats by these teams raised doubts about the fairness of the playoff selection, highlighting flaws in the new 12-team format. Indiana and SMU. Both teams were thoroughly outmatched in their games, further fueling the debate over the playoff selections. SMU's loss to Penn State was particularly damaging, as it gave credence to critics who argued that an SEC team would have been a more competitive choice. Indiana's blowout loss to Notre Dame also raised questions about their legitimacy as a playoff team. Tennessee. Tennessee couldn't recover from a disastrous start against Ohio State, which quickly jumped to a 21-0 lead. Despite a late rally, the Volunteers struggled with consistency and failed to capitalize on opportunities, highlighting the need for continued development, particularly in quarterback Nico Iamaleva's play.